LeBron James made his regular season debut with the Lake Show, and they lose 128-119. What was your take on the game and how LeBron played?
I mean, LeBron was, typically very good. I think he had 26, 12, and 6 or so. And the Lakers were kind of a mess. And I think for a while that's what they're going to be. They don't have a lot of shooting. They don't have a lot of rebounders, and they don't have a lot of defenders. And you saw all of those weaknesses come to bear last night in the opener. They shoot 7 for 30 from 3. They get abused on the glass, 21 points. And I think they had 37 fast break, but they in transition and in fast break points, and that's really like how their season is going to go. They're gonna run teams off the court because they're athletic and they get up and down, and they have no size, so they're going to get killed in the paint. And their games are going to come down to, do their guys who are inconsistent shooters make shots? And last night they didn't. And other nights they will, and that's why I think they're going to be 45 to 47, 48 win team, and that's why I think they're going to be a borderline playoff team, because they're just going to be good, but not consistent enough to be a bigger threat than that. Yeah. I just don't see it. I mean, you look at their team, right, and they just don't have a lot of depth. They don't have a lot of, people talk about them having this deep roster. I don't really see it. And even last night after the game, Luke Walton, I thought the most damning quote about their summer is he takes Brandon Ingram out of the game with 4 minutes to go. And, as both him and Lonzo Ball on the bench, and says, well, we needed to kind of, you look at the past, LeBron's had so much success playing with shooting around him, but then with the ball, we tried to do that to make a little run. Well, okay, if LeBron's always had success playing with the ball in his hands with shooters around him, why did they go out this summer and sign a bunch of guys who aren't shooters who only need the ball in their hands to play with them? Right. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, they're going to be solid, but they're a work in progress, and they have some real holes they're going to have to try to adjust and fix.
All right, how did Lonzo look? He only played 19 minutes. He was 2 for 7. I know he had that injury in the offseason, didn't play a ton in the preseason. Rondo starts at point guard. Do you foresee Ball starting at any point this year if Rondo is healthy? Nope. Okay.
The Lakers signed Rajon Rondo this summer at LeBron James's direction, right? So if LeBron wants Rondo to be on the team, and Rondo and Lonzo play the same position, I would say that's not a great sign for Lonzo. Now, this summer or this during the preseason, the Lakers were, I think, exceedingly cautious with Lonzo coming back from a knee injury in the offseason and having surgery. They eased him back very slowly. I thought it was rather convenient that they set it up so that, Lonzo to come back from this injury, he's got to take some time. So it's kind of an easy excuse for them to have Rondo be the starter at the start of the season. But, Lonzo didn't really look that engaged last night. He looked kind of checked out. And, even when he was playing with the second unit, they've got Lance Stevenson out there with the ball in his hands, and Lonzo's just kind of floating around as a spot-up shooter on the wing. It's just a marked contrast from where he was last year when he had the ball in his hands all the time. They were pushing the ball with him with it and kind of running the thing through him. So, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, his Laker career is done at this point, but I think going forward this season, to me, barring an injury for turn around and, have Lonzo 30 minutes and have him, kind of be the center of things on offense next to LeBron. It feels like he's going to be playing behind Rondo as kind of a secondary piece, and I'm not sure at that point how much of an impact he's really going to have.
Tim, something I did expect from the Blazers box score, Damian Lillard with 28 to lead the Blazers. Yep. Two things I didn't expect, Jake Layman getting the start, so you give the Terp a little love there.
Yeah.
And Nick Stauskas erupts off the bench, 5 of 8 for
Castillo.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a ridiculous game.
24 off the bench in 27 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that was easily the best game he's ever played. Look, Here's the thing. The Lakers decided not to guard Nick Stauskas ever. That's really not a good idea. The one thing he can do is hit spot-up open threes, and the Lakers decided not to guard him. This again, is really part of LA's problem. I mean, they just don't have a lot of guys who can really guard, and they, at several points lost him on the court and gave up, a bunch of wide-open threes to a guy who like I said, he doesn't have any other skills, but he is a really good shooter, and they let him get going. And Layman, I was a little surprised that he started also, but he did start during the preseason, and, they wanted, I guess, to keep the same rotation, so he played a few minutes at the start of each half. But, all credit to him. He's managed to stay in the league for a few years after, getting drafted in the second round, which is an accomplishment for him.